Broken Forms, Franz Marc, 1880 to 1916, by Carla Ponder. Franz Marc, born February 8, 1880 in Munich, Germany. Marc died in battle during World War I in France at age 36. He originally sought to enter the clergy before turning focus to art studies at Munich Academy of Fine Arts. He's considered to have had an exceptional impact on the Expressionist movement that would come after World War I. He's famous for images of brightly colored animals, most notably horses. Color is extremely important to Marc. His personal analysis regarding color associated blue with masculine, yellow with feminine, and red with the physical world, often depicting it as violent. His work suggests the heightened anxiety of early 20th century Europe and the looming war of the time. Art is nothing but the expression of our dream. The more we surrender to it, the closer we get to the inner truth of the thing, our dream life, the true life that scorns questions and does not see them. Franz Marc. Marc's early works are seen as naturalist or realist, as we can see in the 1911 Red Horses. And later, along with Russian painter, Marc founded a group which placed emphasis on the use of abstracted form and bold color, more like what's shown in Fate of the Animals, 1915. Blue is the male principle, stern and spiritual. Yellow, the female principle, gentle, cheerful, and sensual. Red is matter, brutal and heavy, and always the color which must be fought and vanquished by the other two. Franz Marc. Descriptive critique, broken forms, 1914, Franz Marc. Oil on canvas, movement, expressionism, bright, bold colors creating most prominent details of the work, shape and line are defined by the use of strong color, space denoted by muted tones and depiction of light contrasting the overall darker elements and creating open composition. Contextual critique, broken forms, 1914, Franz Marc. Marc came from an artistic background. His father was an amateur landscape painter. Marc's early works used the same prominently featured colors as what we see here, blue, red, and yellow. Broken Forms was painted in 1914, which is the same year that World War I began, and likely played a role in influencing Marc's work. Marc's considered founding member of German Expressionism. Marc studied, amongst others, Impressionists during his time in Paris, and the areas of light in this piece is surely a nod to that style feature. And as quoted by the artist on objects speak, objects possess will and form. Why should we wish to interrupt them? We have nothing sensible to say to them. Haven't we learned in the last 1,000 years that the more we confront objects with the reflection of their appearance, the more silent they become? Evaluative critique, broken forms, 1914, Franz Marc. Figural work is all but abandoned by the artist. The lines, colors, and contrasts become the emotion and the story of the piece. The blues and the yellows consistently plagued and barely holding back the reds. The piece is obviously heavily representative of what it's like to live in times of war, where everything is uncertain and which side will overcome is unclear. This last slide is just my sources. I used a variety of websites to get information on Franz Marc, biographically speaking, and also to view several of his other works from the beginning to more towards the later works, trying to get an overall understanding of the artist and where he was coming from, where he was going. I'm terrible at this sort of thing. Thanks for hanging in there with me, and hopefully the next go around won't be so awkward.